The massive chamber of the Galactic Council hummed with nervous energy. 230 representatives from 27 advanced alien species filled the curved rows of seats. The air smelled of strange spices and the faint scent of ozone from the translation devices that allowed them all to understand each other. Council President Zilvax struck the ceremonial bell 3 times. The crystal sound echoed through the chamber, and the buzz of conversation died away. "This emergency session of the Galactic Council is now in session," said Zilvax. The tall, blue-skinned alien's 4 eyes blinked in sequence as they surveyed the room. "We gather today to address what many have called the human problem." Several representatives nodded. Others shifted uncomfortably in their seats. "I call Ambassador Krultor to present the evidence," Zilvax continued. A thin, gray alien with long limbs stood up. Krultor moved to the central platform, where a holographic display activated at their touch. "Esteemed colleagues," Krultor began, "for 50 cycles we have observed the species known as humans on the planet they call Earth. When we first discovered them, they had just begun basic radio communications. We expected them to develop at a normal pace. The hologram showed an old-fashioned radio, then a television, then a computer. The images shifted faster and faster. Instead, in just 5 decades, they have achieved this. The hologram showed a space station orbiting Earth, then rovers on Mars." Murmurs spread through the chamber. "Their technological growth rate is unprecedented," Krultor continued. "But more concerning is their nature. New images appeared. Humans arguing, humans fighting, humans at war. They are unpredictable, violent, dangerously curious. And now they stand at the threshold of faster-than-light travel. Our projections suggest they will achieve it within 20 years. Admiral Pex, a heavily armored reptilian, stood up without waiting to be recognized. "This is a clear danger to galactic stability. Humans are too aggressive to be allowed free rein. We should contain them now, before they spread." Zilvax raised a hand. "Admiral, please follow proper protocol." The reptilian snorted but sat down. Scholar Nimora, an ancient wispy being that appeared almost transparent, rose slowly. "I suggest caution. We have seen other species that seemed dangerous but became valuable members of our community. Perhaps observation rather than intervention. Observation has failed." Admiral Pex interrupted again. "Humans killed each other by the millions in their world wars. Imagine what they would do to species they consider alien." Trade Minister Kexler, whose shimmering skin changed colors with their emotions, turned golden with excitement. "But consider the economic possibilities. Humans are incredibly creative. Their art, their music, their weapons," added Admiral Pex. The debate continued for hours. Some council members argued that humanity deserved a chance to prove themselves. Others insisted that the risk was too great. "Their planet is already damaged from their industrial development," said Environmental Director Vreen. "They might bring such practices to other worlds." "But their adaptability is remarkable," countered Medical Officer Jala. "Their medical advances in just the last decade are impressive." As the arguments went back and forth, Zilvax watched silently. Finally, they raised all 4 hands for quiet. "We have heard enough," said the Council President. "It is time to vote on Protocol 447, containment and gradual control of Earth." The voting process was quick. Each representative pressed a button on their console. The massive screen at the front of the room displayed the results. 19 for, 8 against. "The Council has spoken," Zilvax announced. "Protocol 447 will begin immediately. Stealth observation satellites will be deployed. Manipulation tactics will be prepared. And when the time is right, we will make contact, not as equals, but as guides who will direct humanity's development as we see fit." The Council President looked around the room, meeting the gaze of each dissenting voter. "For the safety of the galaxy, humanity must be controlled. This session is adjourned." The crystal bell rang once more. As the council members filed out, None of them could imagine that humans would soon discover their plans, or what would happen when they did. Daniel Wright floated outside the International Space Station, the Earth a blue marble below him. His job today was to fix a broken antenna. But something else caught his eye, a flash of light where there should be nothing. "Houston, are there any other objects scheduled to be in my sector?" he asked through his radio. "Negative, astronaut Wright. You're alone up there," came the reply. Daniel frowned inside his helmet. He had definitely seen something. He turned his head slowly, scanning the darkness. There it was again, a brief reflection of sunlight off something metallic. "I'm seeing an unidentified object about 200 meters from my position," he reported. Meanwhile, in a small research facility in New Mexico, Dr. Lauren Miller stared at her computer screen with growing excitement. The SETI researcher had detected unusual radiation patterns for 3 days straight now. They weren't random. They had a pattern. Her phone rang. Dr. Miller speaking. "This is General Frank Wilson. You need to stop whatever you're doing and listen carefully." 2 days later, Dr. Miller found herself in an underground bunker with 3 strangers. Major John Carter stood at a whiteboard. His Air Force uniform was crisp, and his face was serious. "What we're about to discuss is classified at the highest level," he said. "Astronaut Wright discovered something in orbit, something that shouldn't be there." He showed them photographs of what looked like a small satellite with unfamiliar markings. "It's not one of ours. It's not Russian, Chinese, or European either. Its technology is like nothing we've seen." A woman stood up. "I'm Dr. Samantha Reeves, genolinguist. I've been trying to decode the transmissions from this object. They're definitely not from Earth." The 4th person in the room cleared his throat. "Alex Blackwood, Diplomatic Corps. I'm here because if this is first contact, we need a unified human response." The last member of the team introduced herself as Engineer Patricia Gomes. "My job is to figure out how their tech works," she explained. For weeks, they worked together in secret. Patricia built equipment to intercept more of the alien transmissions. Samantha worked day and night to understand the strange language in the signals. Daniel, now back on Earth, helped analyze the satellite's movements. Lauren used her SETI equipment to search for more signals. The breakthrough came when Samantha burst into the room one morning, her eyes wide. "I've got it. It's not just one satellite. There's a whole network of them. They're monitoring us." She showed them her translation of a partial transmission. "Subjects unaware of observation. Protocol 447 proceeding as planned." "What's Protocol 447? asked Daniel. No one knew, but it didn't sound good. Major Carter paced the room. "We need more information. These satellites must be sending their data somewhere. If we could follow the transmission path," Engineer Gomes said slowly. "We could find where they're coming from," finished Lauren. Within days, they had built a small probe with one mission: follow the alien transmissions to their source. The launch was disguised as a regular satellite deployment. The probe detached from its rocket and began its secret journey, following the faint trail of alien communications. Meanwhile, in the grand chambers of the Galactic Council, an alarm flashed on a monitor. A junior observer rushed to find Ambassador Kreltor. "Sir, one of our observation satellites has been compromised," the observer reported anxiously. "The humans have spotted it." Kreltor's long fingers tapped rapidly on a console. "Impossible. Our technology is far beyond their ability to detect." But the evidence was clear. Not only had humans detected the satellite, but they had also launched a probe that was now tracking their transmission signals. Kreltor hurried to the council president's chamber. This changed everything. The humans were more advanced than they had realized. Protocol 447 would need to be accelerated. Back on Earth, no one on the secret team knew they had triggered a panic among the very aliens who had voted to control them. They only knew they had taken their first step into a much larger universe, and that something called Protocol 447 might threaten their world. The Galactic Council chambers buzzed with urgent activity. What had been planned as a slow, careful process now needed to happen quickly. Council President Zilvax called an emergency meeting of the Protocol 447 Committee. "The humans have discovered one of our observation satellites," Zilvax announced. "We must act before they learn more." Ambassador Kreltor stood at the center of the room. "I will leave a diplomatic mission to Earth immediately. We will present ourselves as friendly allies who just happened to discover their planet." Admiral Pex snorted. "They won't believe that." "They will," Kreltor insisted. "Humans are eager to believe they are not alone in the universe. We will establish a cultural exchange as our cover. Meanwhile, we will begin implementing the control measures." The reptilian admiral nodded reluctantly. "My ships will remain hidden behind their moon, ready if needed." Back on Earth, the probe had traced the alien transmissions to a hidden relay station near Jupiter. The team gathered around a large screen showing the probe's camera feed. The relay station was small but clearly artificial, with smooth surfaces that reflected the distant sunlight. "It's definitely not human-made," Daniel said. Dr. Miller pointed to her computer. "Look at this. The transmission patterns from the relay station point to a specific location in space. I think it's a map." Dr. Reeves studied the data. "She's right. These aren't just signals. They're coordinates to a star system about 12 light-years from Earth." Major Carter frowned. "So what do? We can't reach another star system." Engineer Gomes cleared her throat. "Actually, we might be able to." She looked at the others nervously. "I wasn't supposed to tell anyone, but I've been working on a prototype engine based on some new physics theories. It's not exactly faster than light travel, but it could get a small ship there in about 3 months. The room went silent. "That's impossible," Alex Blackwood finally said. "It works on paper," Gomes insisted. "And we've run some small-scale tests that show promise. But we'd need authorization to build a full-sized version." Major Carter stood up. "Then we get that authorization. If these aliens are monitoring us and hiding it, we need to know why." It took 2 weeks of secret meetings, but finally, the president was convinced. In a hidden facility in Nevada, engineers worked around the clock to build humanity's first interstellar ship. They named it the U.S. Horizon. "It's not pretty," Gomes said as they looked at the finished ship. It was small, designed to carry just 4 people. Its hull was plain and functional, with the experimental engine taking up most of the space. "It doesn't need to be pretty," Daniel replied. "It just needs to work." As the most experienced astronaut on the team, he would command the mission. Dr. Reeves would join him as the communications expert. Major Carter would provide military expertise. Engineer Gomes insisted on going too, to monitor her engine. Dr. Miller would remain on Earth as their main contact. Alex Blackwood would handle any diplomatic situations that might arise. The day before launch, they received an urgent message from NASA. A large unidentified object had entered Earth's solar system and was moving toward Earth at incredible speed. "It's them," Lauren said, her voice barely above a whisper. "The aliens are coming here." Major Carter looked at Daniel. "We need to launch now, before they arrive." The launch was rushed but successful. As the U.S. Horizon left Earth's atmosphere, the experimental engine powered up. The stars blurred around them as the ship accelerated to speeds humans had never before achieved. Meanwhile, the alien diplomatic vessel entered Earth orbit. Ambassador Kreltor prepared to send the first official message to humanity. "People of Earth, you are not alone. We come in peace and friendship." Across Earth, people stopped what they were doing as the message played on every radio, television, and phone. The world held its breath. In the hidden command center, Lauren and Alex looked at each other. The aliens had arrived, but they still didn't know why they had been watching Earth, or what Protocol 447 really meant. All their hopes now rested with the 4 humans racing toward the stars, searching for answers. The world changed forever when the alien ship appeared in the sky. It was massive, shaped like a smooth silver teardrop. It hovered above the United Nations building in New York, visible to millions. "This is not a drill," the emergency broadcasts repeated. "An extraterrestrial craft has entered Earth's atmosphere. Please remain calm and follow the instructions of your local authorities." But how could anyone remain calm? People flooded the streets, some in panic, others in wonder. Religious leaders called for prayer. Military forces went on high alert. Social media exploded with theories and rumors. The Secretary General of the United Nations called an emergency meeting. "We must present a united front," she told the gathered world leaders. "This is a moment that affects all of humanity." Alex Blackwood was chosen to lead the human diplomatic team. His years in the diplomatic course had prepared him for difficult negotiations, but nothing like this. As he put on his best suit, he thought about the 4 humans on the U.S. horizon, now far away in space. They might find important answers, but right now, Earth needed to deal with the aliens who had just arrived. The meeting location was set, a neutral site in Geneva, Switzerland. Security was tight, with soldiers from 20 countries forming a perimeter. News cameras broadcast to billions of viewers worldwide. At exactly noon, a beam of light appeared from the bottom of the alien ship. When it faded, 5 creatures stood on the landing pad. Ambassador Kreltor walked at the front, tall and thin with gray skin and 4-fingered hands. The other aliens were different shapes and colors, representing various species from the Galactic Council. Alex stepped forward. "On behalf of the people of Earth, I welcome you." Kreltor bowed slightly. "I am Ambassador Kreltor of the Galactic Council, a community of peaceful species who share the stars. We are pleased to finally meet you." The formal introductions continued inside a large conference room. The aliens sat on one side of a long table, the humans on the other. Cameras recorded everything. "We have observed your world for some time," Kreltor explained. "We waited until you reached a certain level of development before making contact. We come offering friendship and knowledge." Alex maintained a diplomatic smile, but his mind raced. This contradicted what they had learned from the intercepted transmissions. Why were the aliens lying? Dr. Samantha Reeves, who had been monitoring the meeting remotely, noticed something odd about the aliens' speech patterns. "They're choosing their words very carefully," she told Lauren Miller over a secure line. "It's like they've rehearsed this." The talks continued for hours. The aliens proposed technology exchanges and cultural integration programs. They spoke of a bright future where humans would join the galactic community. Many world leaders were excited by the offers. Some were already planning how the alien technology could benefit their countries. Only a few noticed how the aliens avoided certain topics or how they seemed especially interested in Earth's defense systems. Meanwhile, millions of miles away, the U.S. horizon approached the coordinates they had discovered. Instead of a planet, they found a massive space station, like a small metal moon. "No signs of detection yet," Major Carter reported. "Their security is focused outward, not inward." Daniel made a decision. "We go in quiet. Find out what this place is." Using the ship's limited stealth capabilities, they approached a small maintenance dock. Engineer Gomes bypassed the security systems, and they entered the station wearing spacesuits. Inside, they found corridors filled with screens showing images of Earth. It was clearly a monitoring station. But there was more. They discovered a room with a large holographic display of the solar system, with Earth highlighted. "Look at this," Gomes whispered, pointing to a console. "I think I can access their database." While she worked, Daniel and the others kept watch. The station seemed to have minimal staff, most of whom were in a central control area. "I got something," Gomes finally said. "Files on something called Protocol 447. And, oh no." "What is it?" Daniel asked. Gomes looked up, her face pale. "It's a plan to control humanity." The Galactic Council took a vote. They don't see us as equals. They want to limit our development and eventually make us dependent on them. Back on Earth, Alex received an urgent message during a break in the negotiations. He excused himself and went to a secure room where Lauren waited. "We've established contact with the Horizon," she said. "You need to see what they found." The U.S. Horizon crew moved carefully through the alien space station. They had split into two teams to cover more ground. Daniel and Major Carter searched for more information about the Galactic Council, while Engineer Gomes and Dr. Reeves focused on downloading data about Protocol 447. "This place is huge," Daniel whispered as they turned down another corridor. The walls were smooth metal with strange symbols that glowed faintly. Major Carter checked their portable scanner. "Most of the aliens are gathered in a central hub. We should be safe here." They found a room filled with displays showing different parts of Earth. One screen showed the meeting in Geneva, where Alex was talking with Ambassador Kreltor. Another showed military bases in various countries. "They're monitoring everything," Daniel said. Meanwhile, Gomes had connected her tablet to an alien computer terminal. The alien text translated slowly on her screen. "I found the full Protocol 447 files," she told Dr. Reeves. "It's worse than we thought. The Council plans to introduce technology that will make us dependent on them. They'll offer medical advances that seem helpful but will change human biology over time." Dr. Reeves looked over her shoulder. "Keep downloading. We need everything." In another part of the station, they found something even more disturbing. A room full of devices that looked like small satellites, each labeled with the name of a major Earth city. "What are these?" Daniel asked, examining one closely. Major Carter's face darkened. "Based on these readings, they're some kind of mind-influencing devices. They could affect how people think and feel in a whole city." Back on Earth, Alex Blackwood sat across from Ambassador Kreltor. The alien had just offered what he called a gift of friendship, a medical device that could cure several human diseases. "This is very generous," Alex said carefully. "Our scientists would need to study it, of course." Kreltor's expression didn't change. "Of course. Though I assure you it is perfectly safe." During a break, Alex met with Dr. Lauren Miller in a secure room. She showed him the data from the U.S. Horizon. "The gift technology matches what they found on the station," she explained. "It's designed to make us easier to influence over time." Alex felt cold. "So their friendly act is just that, an act?" "Yes, and there's more." Lauren showed him images of the mind-influencing devices. They plan to place these around Earth. They could control how entire populations think and feel. Alex took a deep breath. "We need to stall them while we figure out what to do." On the space station, the Horizon crew gathered at their entry point, ready to leave with the data they'd collected. Suddenly, alarms blared. "We've been detected," Major Carter said, checking his scanner. "Security teams are heading this way." They ran for their ship, alien guards close behind. Energy blasts hit the walls near them as they reached the maintenance dock. "Everyone in now," Daniel shouted. They made it onto the Horizon just as the dock doors began to close. Engineer Gomes fired up the engines, and they squeezed through the narrowing gap into space. Multiple ships launching from the station, Major Carter reported as they accelerated away. "Can we outrun them?" Daniel asked. Gomes shook her head. "Not for long. But I can establish a quantum communication link to Earth. We need to send them everything we found, in case we don't make it back." Dr. Reeves worked quickly to set up the secure transmission. "Sending now," she said as the alien ships gained on them. The data stream connected directly to the secure room where Alex and Lauren waited. Files, images, and video began to appear on their screens. "We're receiving it," Lauren confirmed. "Good," came Daniel's voice over the communication link. "You need to know what they're really planning. The Council voted to control humanity, to limit our development, and eventually make us dependent on them. Everything they're offering is a trick." Alex looked at the evidence on the screen. He now had proof of the aliens' true intentions, proof he could use in the negotiations. As he prepared to return to the meeting, he thought about what to do next. Confronting the aliens directly might be dangerous, but playing along with their deception while knowing the truth gave humans an advantage. "Tell the Horizon crew to get to safety," he told Lauren. "I'm going back in to face Ambassador Krelltor. But this time, I know what game we're really playing." World leaders gathered in a secret underground bunker beneath Geneva. Security was tight, with no electronic devices allowed. The room was swept for bugs every 15 minutes. This was the most important meeting in human history. "The evidence is clear," Alex said, standing before screens showing data from the U.S. horizon. "The aliens aren't here as friends. They want to control us." The room erupted in angry voices. The president of France stood up. "We should confront them immediately, tell the world the truth, and risk open conflict." The Chinese premier asked. "Their technology is far beyond ours." The debate continued for hours. Some leaders wanted immediate military action. Others suggested continuing to pretend cooperation, while secretly preparing defenses. A few wondered if working with the aliens might actually benefit humanity, despite their plans. Alex listened to all sides. Finally, he proposed a plan. "We need to do two things at once. First, we continue apparent cooperation. We gather intelligence and learn everything we can about their technology. Second, we prepare Earth's defenses in secret and establish off-world bases as a backup plan." The British Prime Minister frowned. "Off-world bases? Is that even possible?" Lauren Miller stepped forward. "The U.S. horizon proved we can travel to nearby star systems. Engineer Gomes's technology works. We could establish small bases on Mars and beyond." After more debate, the world leaders agreed. They would play a dangerous game of deception while preparing for the worst. Meanwhile, the U.S. horizon had escaped the alien pursuit ships by hiding in an asteroid field. Daniel and his crew made repairs while planning their next move. "We should find other alien species," Dr. Reeves suggested. "The Council has 27 member species, but there must be others who aren't part of their group." "Good idea," Daniel agreed. "Some might even oppose the Council's methods. We need allies." On Earth, the negotiations with Ambassador Krelltor continued. Alex maintained a friendly demeanor while carefully analyzing everything the aliens said. "We would like to establish outposts on your world," Krelltor said, "for cultural exchange purposes." Alex smiled. "That sounds interesting. Where would you want these outposts?" The locations Krelltor suggested were all near major military installations or government centers. Now Alex understood why. Major Carter, who had returned to Earth while the Horizon continued its mission, identified several aliens who had already infiltrated key positions in governments and corporations. "They've been here for years," he told a small group of military leaders, preparing the ground for their takeover. Dr. Lauren Miller made another discovery when studying the alien medical technology. It contains nanobots that would link to their communication network. They could monitor and eventually influence anyone who received their medical treatments. Engineers worked day and night to develop countermeasures. Dr. Reeves found ways to block the mind-influencing signals. Gomes's team adapted alien technology to create better defenses. All this happened in secret while on the surface. Earth continued friendly relations with the aliens. News channels showed humans and aliens exchanging cultural information. Universities hosted alien speakers. Some companies even began working with alien technology. Alex walked a dangerous line every day. In one meeting, he agreed to allow alien observers at a space launch. What the aliens didn't know was that the rocket carried equipment for a secret defensive satellite network. "Your people seem very eager to learn from us," Krelltor commented during a dinner. Alex nodded. "We've always been curious." "Perhaps too curious," the alien ambassador said, his four eyes blinking in sequence. Was that a threat? Alex couldn't tell, but he knew the deception couldn't last forever. Sooner or later, the aliens would discover that humans knew their true plans. The U.S. Horizon sent regular updates from deep space. They had found evidence of other species who refused to join the Council. Some had gone into hiding. Others had fought and lost. But a few were still free and might be willing to help Earth. Daniel's last message contained coordinates for a meeting with potential allies. "We're not alone in resisting the Council," he reported. "There's hope." Alex needed that hope. Because each day, more alien ships arrived in Earth orbit. The Council was growing impatient. Time was running out. In the Grand Chamber of the Galactic Council, President Zilvax called an emergency meeting. Representatives from the 27 species took their seats, murmuring nervously. "Our operation on Earth is not proceeding as planned," Zilvax announced. "We have lost contact with our monitoring station, and our surveillance satellites report unusual activity." Ambassador Krelter's voice came through a communication link from Earth. "The humans are cooperating, but something feels wrong. They agree too easily, and they ask too many specific questions about our technology." Admiral Pex slammed his fist on the table. "I warned you. These humans are smarter than we thought. The reports from our agents confirm they are developing new technologies at an amazing rate." A junior observer rushed into the chamber. "Urgent news. Our tracking systems have detected the missing human ship. It's meeting with representatives from the Arcturan resistance." The room went silent. The Arcturans were one of several species that had refused to join the Council, preferring independence to the Council's version of unity. "This changes everything," Zilvax said quietly, "if humans ally with the Arcturans and other free species." Admiral Pex stood up. "We must act now. I have battle cruisers ready. We can capture or destroy the human ship and accelerate our control measures on Earth." Zilvax considered for a moment, then nodded. "Dispatch your ships." "Admiral." Ambassador Kreltor, "Implement Protocol 447B immediately." On the communication screen, Kreltor bowed. "It will be done." Far away, the U.S. horizon floated near a stunning blue-green planet. 3 alien ships surrounded them, but not in a threatening way. These were the Arcturans, a peaceful species with technology nearly as advanced as the Council's. Inside the horizon, Daniel and his crew met with the Arcturan leader, a tall being with shimmering skin that changed colors with emotions. "We have resisted the Council for centuries," the Arcturan explained. "They claim to bring unity, but they control everything. No species is truly free under their rule." "Will you help us?" Daniel asked. The Arcturan's skin turned a deep gold. "Yes, and not just us. 2 other species have agreed to join our alliance. The Council's methods have created many enemies." Dr. Reeves studied information the Arcturans shared. "They've developed ways to block the Council's influence technology, and their defensive systems are incredible." Suddenly, alarms blared on all ships. The Arcturan leader's skin flashed red. "Council warships approaching. They found us." On Earth, the situation changed abruptly. More alien ships appeared in orbit. Ambassador Kreltor's friendly demeanor vanished when he met with Alex and other world leaders. "The time for gradual integration is over," he announced. "For your own safety and the stability of this region of space, Earth will now come under the direct protection of the Galactic Council." "Protection?" Alex asked, his voice level despite his racing heart. "What exactly does that mean?" Kreltor's 4 eyes blinked coldly. "It means your military forces will stand down. Council representatives will assume advisory positions in all major governments. Certain technology development programs will be suspended." The alien paused, then added, "This is not a request. Our ships are already in position." Alex glanced at the other human leaders, who nodded slightly according to their plan. "We'll need time to inform our people, to prevent panic." "You have 24 Earth hours," Kreltor said. "After that, we will take necessary measures regardless of your cooperation." As the aliens left the room, Dr. Miller rushed in. "Energy signatures in orbit. Their weapon systems are activating. How long until our defense systems are ready? Alex asked. 12 hours at the earliest, she replied. We need to stall them somehow. Alex thought quickly. I'll request another meeting with Kreltor. Tell him we have questions about their protection plan. Meanwhile, in space, the U.S. Horizon and the Arcturan ships were surrounded by Council warships. Admiral Pex's voice boomed over the communication system. Surrender immediately or be destroyed. You have violated Council space and interfered with Council operations. Daniel looked at the Arcturan leader. We can't outrun them, and we can't outfight them. The Arcturan's skin shifted to a deep purple. Perhaps we don't need to. The alien touched a control panel. We still have one advantage they don't expect. A shimmering field enveloped all 4 Allied ships. Before Admiral Pex could react, they vanished from the Council's sensors. Set course for Earth, Daniel ordered. Maximum speed. We need to get there before the Council makes its move. The clock was ticking. On Earth, humans prepared for a confrontation they might not win. In space, the Horizon raced home with allies and new technology. And in the Council chambers, President Zilvax prepared to announce their successful containment of another troublesome species. None of them realized that the greatest surprise was yet to come. Ambassador Kreltor stood before the gathered world leaders in Geneva. Armed alien guards lined the walls of the chamber. Outside, Council ships hovered over major cities across the globe, a clear threat. Your time is up, Kreltor announced. The Council has decided. Humanity will submit to our guidance. Alex Blackwood kept his face calm, but inside he was worried. Earth's defense systems were ready, but they might not be enough against the Council's superior technology. They needed more time. Before we respond, Alex said, we have some questions about how this arrangement would work. Kreltor's patience was clearly wearing thin. There is nothing to discuss. The Council voted. Suddenly, alarms blared on the alien ships. Kreltor received an urgent message that made all 4 of his eyes widen. Outside, the skies above Earth filled with light as dozens of new ships appeared. But these weren't Council ships. The U.S. Horizon had returned, accompanied by vessels from 3 different alien species who had rejected Council rule. The Arcturan ships shimmered with blue energy. The Valorians' vessels looked like giant silver birds. The Neph ships were nearly invisible, revealing themselves only by slight distortions in the air. Engineers Gomes and Dr. Miller activated the planet-wide defense system they had secretly developed by combining human innovation with alien technology. Invisible shields spread over major cities. Communication jammers blocked the Council's control signals. In the Geneva chamber, Alex stood up. The other world leaders joined him. We've heard enough, Alex said firmly. It's time for humanity to take its place at the table. Kreltor backed away, surprised by this sudden change. What do you think you're doing? The Council has voted. Yes, about that vote, Alex interrupted. We'd like to discuss it. Not with you, but with the full Council. On the large screen in the chamber, a direct quantum transmission appeared, showing the grand chambers of the Galactic Council. President Zilvax and the other Council members looked shocked as their secured communication system was hacked. Even more shocking was what happened next. The doors to the Council chambers slid open, and Daniel Wright walked in. He was accompanied by the Arcturan leader and representatives from Earth. They walked confidently to the center of the chamber. What is the meaning of this? Zilvax demanded, standing up in alarm. How did you get here? We had help, Daniel said simply, gesturing to his alien allies. From friends who also rejected your control. On screens visible to both Earth and the Council chambers, images appeared showing Earth's activated defense systems and the Allied alien ships in position. Council warships were surrounded, their weapons neutralized by technology the Allies had shared. You voted to control humanity without knowing us, Daniel continued. That was your mistake. Alex picked up the message from Geneva. You thought we were just another primitive species you could manipulate. But we learn quickly. We adapt. And we prefer friends to masters. The Arcturan leader stepped forward, skin glowing a bright gold. The Council's days of forcing species to submit are ending. We offer an alliance of equals instead. Zilvax looked around the chamber, seeing the shocked faces of the Council representatives. Their carefully planned Protocol 447 had failed completely. Humans had not only discovered their plans, but had also made powerful allies and developed defenses in record time. "What do you want?" Zilvax finally asked. "A seat at the table," Daniel replied. "Not as a controlled species, but as a full member with equal rights, and reforms to how the Council operates, so no other species faces what you planned for us." The Council chamber erupted in angry shouts and arguments. Some members supported the humans' demands, tired of the Council's controlling methods. Others were outraged at the very idea. Zilvax raised all four hands for silence. The Council president studied the humans thoughtfully. These strange beings had done the impossible. They had discovered the Council's plans, made powerful allies, and developed advanced technology, all in just a few months. Perhaps they had been wrong about humans all along. "The Council will consider your proposal," Zilvax said carefully. "But regardless of their decision, it seems humanity has already taken its place among the stars." Daniel and Alex exchanged looks across the quantum link. This was just the beginning. Humanity had walked in where no one expected them, and the galaxy would never be the same.